Shalom, shalom, everyone. This is Yisrael with another Sabbath Day class. We welcome everyone here to the class. If this is your first time, we'd like to say enjoy. If you cannot see the screen, don't worry about it. The majority of the things that we will talk about is in your Bible. So if you have your Bible or access to a computer, you can pull the scriptures up that we're going to be using today. This is an interactive class. Please feel free to ask questions, interject, but we're going to go through this. The topic of the class today is the blood covenant. So this is very important for all of us to be able to understand as far as y'all are concerned. And then I'll open up the screen again and ask the same question. So why do you think the blood covenants are important to us, the children of Israel? Nobody?
The blood covenant, it puts more on us to identify us as his children, and that we receive the blessings and the promise through the covenant.
I can't hear you. You sound really low.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you a little better.
Okay, I said that the covenant, it puts a mark on us as being his children.
Okay.
To receive the blessings and the promises that he has given to us.
Okay. That's a very good point. She said that we being his children, we have that covenant as getting the blessings and the promises that he offered unto us. Anybody else?
Set us apart and identified us from others.
That is very well. Yep, they set us apart and identify us as from the other people of the other nations. Because why? Somebody tell me, why does it set us apart? What makes us different than the other people?
Because we are his chosen.
We're his chosen people, and we're the only one that he made a covenant or promise to.
Right.
The other nations can't say that. Now, he has given the other nations things, and he has allotted them lands and things like that. But a blood covenant and an oath covenant is made to the children of Israel. So these are the promises, and this is why this is so important. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to move to the next slide so you can see. If you can't see the slide, don't worry about it. Email us after the class, and we will email you instructions on how to see the screen and go from there. It says, what is a covenant? It says, according to the English dictionary, the word covenant means a mutual agreement between two or more parties binding him, her, or him to fulfill specific obligations. A contract or a written agreement. I know that it should be able to. Shalom. We ask everybody, if you're going to have background noise or anything, please put your phone on mute. Driving in a car or anything like that, please put your phone on mute for us, please. Old Testament. The word covenant in the Old Testament comes from a Hebrew root word that means to cut. This is going to be very important. Why does that mean something when it says it means to cut? What does that mean? If somebody said that to you, what would that mean to you, knowing what you know so far?
Circumcision.
Oh, he said circumcision. That's one of them. What else would it mean? Anybody else? Nobody else?
Good old.
Participation.
Okay. So you say participation. Watch. It says stones concording, the word baris, a compact made by passing between pieces of flesh. Watch. Okay, let me go back to that. So this means that passing between pieces of flesh means that you have to kill something, don't you? Blood has to be shed, doesn't it? Yes. And in order, when y'all make the covenant, the ones we're going to talk about anyway, blood has to be shed and there has to be flesh involved. Mm-hmm. Some of it is human flesh, some of it is animal flesh. But you're going to cut something and kill something in order to pass between the pieces of flesh. Did everybody know this? I mean, is this something new? Have you never heard this before?
Heard it.
These are the covenants. This is why Israel is so important among all the other nations. This is why he said, you only have I known of all the families of the earth that I've given my laws, statutes, and commandments to. He said, Jacob, and no other nation have I known. They don't know anything about this. They have not ever performed anything like this when it comes to him.
Right.
We were introduced to him this way, and these were you said one time in our class that I knew, but by him saying it, it kind of stuck. He said, y'all don't play. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't. And why do we say that, Jaina? Because in Christianity, there's this new covenant now where all the other things that meant something to y'all have been washed away. So guess what you can do now? Now you can sin and repent, and 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 it's all right. But we have to understand what this covenant means, because these covenants that you'll see that we're going to deal with today, he tells you is everlasting covenants, and that means they what? They forever.
Forever, right.
They don't change. So this is what is, we're going to move on to this. Here we go. It says, what constitutes a covenant? He said a divine covenant is separated in three parts. I hope you guys are writing this down, because as we go through the scriptures, in the next couple of classes, we're going to be able to break all of these down and have a clearer understanding of why we are special to the Most High and what we did, if we did anything to break it. Watch what he says. Part one. This is the first part. Words or promises or oath of the covenant. So what is y'all going to do? He's going to give you a promise, or he's going to make an oath to establish the covenant. He's going to make sure he do that. Mm-hmm. And we're going to go through something to show you. Second part, the blood of the covenant. So in order for there to be blood, what has to happen?
Had to be cut.
Somebody has to die.
Somebody got to die, don't they? Mm-hmm. Where the blood is, there's the death of something. Mm-hmm. This is the serious stuff apart that a lot of people don't talk about. Let's go to the next one. He said the third part is the seal of the covenant, or the witness of the covenant. These are the things that we have to understand. So as we begin to break these things down, and some of these things we've gone over once, but we're going to revisit them again so we can understand how the covenant was established. It says irrevocable. It says when Yah makes a promise and confirms it with an oath, he bounds himself to fulfill it. So what does that mean to you when it says that? That's what it means. He can't lie. Ain't nobody talking to me today, boy. I feel like I'm down my... And every time I do that, everybody say, just keep going. We just listening. Just keep going. When he makes an oath or a covenant, he's bound by it. Mm-hmm. It's irrevocable. Watch. Life and death. The covenant involves the shedding of blood, which makes the agreement official. So when the blood is shed, that's it. It's already in motion. Now, can you change it?
No.
No. Can't change it.
No.
Can't change it. Can't change nothing. Mm-hmm.
It won't change. Why?
You can break it, but you can't change it.
You can't change it. The witness is a seal, is an ongoing token to remind the witness of the promise and the authenticity of the promise giver. Why are you doing this, Jaina? Why is all this important? Because we have to understand who it is we serve. Because even in all of our wisdom and our knowledge, somebody still breaks the Sabbath. Even in all of our witness and our knowledge, somebody still eats stuff they don't have no business eating. Even in all of our wisdom and our knowledge that we've learned through the scriptures, somebody is doing something that they think is not important, but they're putting themselves in a situation. Because they don't understand who they serve. Someone just called in. Would you please put your phone on mute? Okay, thank you. They don't understand who they serve and who they're dealing with. Now, let me say this. Y'all know we're in captivity. Some of you all have jobs where you have to work on the weekend. Some of you do. Some of you are medical professionals. You have to be there. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about those who do it and they know they're doing it. Include me. And some of you may not even realize you're breaking it or not keeping up with the covenant, and you're doing it out of ignorance. But once we know better, we do better, right? Right. Because why? We are just now being reintroduced back to the God that we are supposed to be serving. And a lot of people say, I know God. I've been saved for 50 years. But I didn't know all this stuff was in here until I began to. My eyes were open. When he opened my eyes, he opened my understanding. Mm-hmm. So now I understand why he did this and why he said that and why we're supposed to do what we're supposed to do. So here we go. We're going to keep moving. I'm going to tell y'all we have 100 slides. It's going to go by pretty quick, so we're going to have probably a lot of time to discuss this. But here we go. The 400-year covenant. They say, Yaina, you get ready to do that again? Yeah, because there's some things that I need to show you about this covenant to confirm what I just said. This is a covenant all by itself. Did you know that? This covenant stands all by itself. Why? Because all of the components that we talked about are in the covenant. We got to break it down and see what it is. Here we go. He said, Deuteronomy 32, 39. He said, I see now that even I am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. That's what he says. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So what does that mean? Anybody?
He controls everything.
Say again?
He controls everything.
He controls everything. And what else? What else?
He's the owner.
Yeah. And what else?
He has the power to do that. He has the power to do that, to kill, to wound, to heal.
That's right. And he has the power to do all those things. And guess what he said? He said, and neither is there any that can deliver out of my hands. So when the time comes, guess what that says? Whatever it is that he pronounced over you, you're going to go through it. And nobody's going to stop it. From every trial, tribulation, covenant broken, oath broken, everything. When the Most High speaks that it's time for you to go through that, you're going to go through it, and nobody's going to stop it. Watch. Abraham's seed, the covenant of Abraham's seed. Watch. What chapter are we in when we talk about the 400-year prophecy? Somebody tell me.
Genesis chapter 15.
Genesis chapter, come on here. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Genesis chapter 15. I said I'm going to stop putting chapters on here and see if they can remember. Because we just said it so much. Genesis chapter 15. Watch what he says, Abram's covenant. And he said, Elohim, Yah Elohim, whereby shall I know that I shall inherit it? This is Genesis 15 and 8. Watch what Yah says. And he said unto him, take me a heifer of 3 years old, and a she-goat of 3 years old. Watch. And a ram of 3 years old, and a turtle dove, and a young pigeon. Why is it necessary to gather all these animals for what we just talked about?
It's a covenant.
It's the covenant. Why? And what about the covenant? Why is it necessary to get animals for a covenant?
You have to get cut.
Okay, you got to kill them, don't you? You got to cut these, and there's a reason why. The Most High said, go get me some animals, because you're going to have to kill these animals in order for this covenant to be legitimate. Watch. That's what he said. He said, and he took unto him all these and divided them in the midst and laid each piece one against another, but the bird divided he not. So there's the cutting. He said, cut them up. Watch what he said. He said, and when the fowl came down upon the carcasses, Abram drove them away. What? They came down because they smelled blood, didn't they? Right? Someone just called in. Would you please put your phone on mute? Okay, here we go. It says, and when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram. And lo, a horror of great darkness fell on him. And he said unto Abram, know of an surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs. What did he just talk about? He spoke the transatlantic slave trade, didn't he?
Absolutely.
5,000 years before it was, I'll say 4,600 years before it was even manifested, and he spoke the transatlantic slave trade to Abram. He said unto Abram, know for the surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs. Why? He said, and shall serve them and shall afflict them for 400 years. Not only did he speak the transatlantic slave trade, but he spoke the terms of the sentence, didn't he? He did. He told him. He said they're going to take them away, they're going to be servants, and they're going to serve them for 400 years. Watch what he said. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge. There's the judgment. That's why I wondered the other day, do President Trump really know what he did? Do he really understand what he did? Is he aware of what he did?
Nope. Y'all is in control of him. He doesn't know.
You know, just by acknowledging it, we became that nation. We did. Why? He said, and afterwards shall they come out with great substance. So not only that, he spoke the outcome. He said we was going to be wealthy, didn't he? Ain't nobody talking. I guess it's just me and you, sis. He said, watch. Watch what else he says. He said, and thou shalt go to thy father's house in peace, and thou shalt be buried in a good old age. So he told Abram how long he was going to live. He said, you're going to live to be an old man.
Sister Yaina, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
This is Adonia. One place he says that we should come out with great substance.
Right.
And then in another place in the scripture, and I can't tell you exactly where, that when he comes to get us, don't bring anything with you. I don't understand.
When he says that, Brother Donia, he means, you know how when they left Egypt, they had clothes and carts and goats, and you don't have to bring that with you.
Well, he's talking about when they fled. They fled when they left. The destruction, they said, leave. Don't go back in the house and leave everything. That's when they fled the land. But when we come with substance, is when we come returning to the land.
Exactly. So we're going to have the things that we have, and we're going to go, because remember, I believe, and this is just my own understanding from it, I believe that when the first group goes, they're going to go at a level of peace. they're going to go at a level of peace, I believe. You know, when they finally make that journey. When they make that choice, okay, I'm ready to go, and the first way it goes over there, it's going to be bad times. The world is going to be going on around them, but the Most High is going to make it possible for us to be able to go without rushing and running. You know, even though the woman is supposed to flee into the wilderness or slide into the wilderness, I still don't believe we're going to be in a position where, oh, my God, I got to get out of here now. Because you can't. I mean, you can't rush out of here now if you wanted to. You know? Okay, hold on. Someone is in their car and they're listening to the show. Can you please put your phone on mute? Because we can hear the windows and stuff. What did you say, Brother Donian?
Well, see, the thing is with me, and this is my personal observation, you understand, is that we can't, you know, I mean, if we leave here with certain things or whatever, you understand, we ain't going to be able to bring our cars or a washing machine and all of that stuff. But ain't that holding on to those memories?
What do you mean, holding on to what memories? What do you mean?
Huh?
What do you mean when you say holding on to memories?
That means the concept of this place.
Well, you leaving it. Well, guess what? Even if you do have memories, once you get over there to the life that we're going to be living, I don't believe that's going to be an issue. And if it is, you'll get over that real quick. Because our whole life is going to change once we get where we're going. I mean, just think, there ain't going to be no more football for the Sunday night football watchers. There's not going to be no more basketball. It's not going to be no more MTV. There's not going to be no more none of that. All that stuff is going to be over with.
Yeah, but see, when we look upon these things, we can grieve and hold on to those memories of, oh man, I missed that time when I got this trophy. I missed this when I had this. And that would be holding on to this captivity. If we talking about we gonna bring things with us, or the Almighty's gonna when it says talks about great substance. What does that mean? I don't understand.
Gold and silver. Gold and silver.
It's gold and silver.
Gold and silver. You know, America got no gold. They don't have it. They used to back the money with silver and gold. They don't have it.
Well, how do you know that?
Brother Donian.
They have a whole bunch in the Grand Canyon Cave.
Right.
And if they didn't have anything, why did the Most High say we were going to leave with wealth? They must have something if he said that.
I mean, you know, this is just my own personal observation. Understand?
Well,
I mean,
you can't look, Brother Donian. You can't look at. You can't look at it the way you see it now. You can't look at it from what they say on CNN and what they say on the news. All that stuff is irrelevant because one thing that I know is that they're not telling us everything. They have a whole lot of wealth. Anytime this country can bring all of the other countries subservient unto them, they have something that supersedes everybody else. And if y'all said you're going to have it, you're going to have it.
There's an assumption being made here that we're going to leave all of this fabulous stuff. But that is not what the Bible is saying. The Bible says that he's going to judge that nation that took us into captivity. If we look at the judgment that we've been under and what we've suffered, if they in turn are going to suffer that in double measure, then whatever we leave is going to be far less than what we go to. Just escaping with life will be a gift.
Okay.
And we're going to have gold and silver, too. We're going to have life, gold, and silver. He said great substance.
If you look at all the other captivities, every time we left, we got gold and silver. So gold and silver supersede any currency that you come up with. Gold and silver supersede.
Yeah.
And one has to remember that we're going to be starting new businesses. This is going to be a new country, a whole new environment. So we're going to need something to exchange among ourselves. That's how I think.
That's true. That's true.
That's because we're going to be a nation, meaning we're going to be dealing just like a nation.
That's right. and gold and silver like we did in the beginning. We're going to have gold. We just read that Thursday night when they were building the temple, how much gold they had, how much gold David had, how much gold Solomon had. And the Most High made Solomon the richest man to ever live. So if the Most High made him that way, if he said we're coming out with great substance, we're coming out with great substance. I mean, it's simple as that. It's no different than the 400-year prophecy that we have been telling everybody all this time, and it was up in the air because nobody could really pinpoint it. And then what did the government do? It came down and said, we've been here 400 years. House Bill 1242, the anniversary of the arrival of the 20 slaves coming off the boat on August 20th of 2019 is 400 years. So just like the Most High did that at that appointed time, when the time comes, you're going to get what you need.
Yeah.
If you pay attention, a lot of countries are trying to go back to the gold standard, but it's being with the Americas and certain people are trying their best not to have it happen. But if the Most High say we're leaving out here with that stuff and we're going to be a nation, that means that's probably how we're going to deal with our monetary system.
Absolutely.
They in bars, gold bars.
You better say that again. All right, let me get back to the topic. Here we go. Watch what he says. He said, but in the fourth generation, I'm in Genesis 15:16, they shall come hither again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. So we know that the giants have to come back onto the land. Now, this is a big controversy, but that's what the scriptures say. Why? He said, and it came to pass. Now, watch what y'all did. It came to pass that when the sun went down, and it was dark, behold, a smoking furnace and a burning lamp. Hold on, let me get this. Somebody's got their cam on. Let me cut that off. Okay, here we go. A smoking furnace and a burning lamp that passed between those pieces. So the Most High sealed it when he walked between those bloody pieces. He confirmed the covenant. He said, and in the same day the Most High made a covenant with Abram, saying, unto thy seed have I given this land. So that as soon as he walked through and sealed it, he said, I'm going to give you all this land. Watch what he said. He said, from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the Euphrates. He even put the landmarkers in place so that when he established his covenant with Abraham, Abraham knew exactly who it involved, how it involved, what was going to be from it, and what we were going to get out of it, and what seed it was going to be that was going to be able to inherit it. Any questions?
I just want to interject and add something. Hopefully I'm not getting into your lesson. But we know that this can't be talking about the Egyptian captivity because Exodus 12 and 40 says that we were in there for 430 years.
Right. No, absolutely not. I mean, because we've already debunked that one. The 3 ways of coming up the front and through the back. We've debunked that so many times. We don't even bring that up no more. You know, anybody that has questions about that, you can go on YouTube and be able to pull that up. All right, here we go. The next one, the oath. Watch what the Most High says about his oath. He said, Jeremiah chapter 11, verse 1 through 6. It said, the word that came to Jeremiah from the Most High saying, somebody's phone is very loud. If you can't put your phone on mute, please let me know, and I will mute it for you, and you can use the chat line. It sounds like somebody's turning pages or something. Okay, here we go. Verse 2. He said, hear ye the words of this covenant. Here go another covenant. And speak unto the men of Yehudah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. And say, watch what he said, thou unto them, thus saith the Most High Elohim of Yisrael. Cursed be the man that obeyeth not the words of this covenant. It's in Jeremiah, watch. Which I commanded your fathers in the day that I brought them forth out of the land of Egypt from the iron furnace, saying, obey my voice and do them according to all which I command you, so shall ye be my people, and I will be your Elohim. Watch what he said, that I may perform the oath which I have sworn unto your fathers to give them a land flowing with milk and honey, and it is this day. Then answered I and said, so be it, O Yah. Then the Most High said unto me, proclaim all these words in the cities of Yehudah and in the streets of Jerusalem, saying, hear ye the words of this covenant and do them. Any questions? Nobody? All right, let's keep going. I keep hearing a chirping sound. I don't know if it's somebody. I don't know what that is. Hold on just a minute. Jeremiah the prophet. Here we go. Now we're going back. This is the same chapter. It says, now when all the princes and all the people which had entered into the covenant heard that everyone should let his manservant, and every one of his maidservants go free, that none should serve themselves of them any more, then they obeyed and said, let them go. Jeremiah chapter 34, verses 12 through 22. He said, therefore the word of the Most High came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, thus saith the Most High, the Elohim of Israel, I made a covenant with your fathers in the day that I brought them forth out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondmen, saying, at the end of 7 years, let ye go every man his brother a Hebrew, which hath been sold unto thee. And when he has served thee 6 years, thou shalt let him go free from thee. But your fathers hearkened not unto me, neither inclined their ear. And you will now turn and have done right in my sight, and proclaiming liberty, every man to his neighbor. Now Zedekiah what happened was they were on their way into the Babylonian captivity. And Zedekiah made a decree that all of the Israelites that had people that were servants in their home because they was doing it up, working to pay off a debt or whatever, that he had to let them go before they went into the Babylonian and free them. Watch, but they didn't do right. Watch. And you made a covenant before me in the house which is called by my name. He said, watch what he said. He said, but you turned and polluted my name and caused every man his servant and every man his handmaid, whom he had set at liberty at their pleasure, to return, and brought them into subjection to be under you for a servant and for a handmaid. The Most High said, you let them go, and then they turned around and took them back into their houses as slaves. Therefore, thus says the Most High, ye have not hearkened unto me in proclaiming liberty, every one to his brother and every man to his neighbor. Behold, I proclaim a liberty for you, saith the Most High, to the sword, to the pestilence, and to the famine. And I will make you to be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. And I will give the men that have transgressed my covenant, which have not performed the word of the covenant. Watch what he does. Which they had made before me when they cut the calf in twain and passed between the parts thereof. So they made a covenant, and how did they do it? They had to kill an animal, didn't they? Here go another animal being cut up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They said, we will, anytime there's a covenant, there's a death of an animal. There is blood being shed. They cut the animal in half, and all the people that agreed passed between the parts thereof as a confirmation that the covenant, they accepted the terms of the covenant. Any questions?
No questions.
Watch. He said the princes of Yehudah and the princes of Jerusalem and the eunuchs and the priests and all the people of the land which passed between the parts of the calf. He said, I will even give them into the hand of their enemies and into the hand of them that seek their life. And their dead bodies shall be for meat unto the fowls of the heaven and to the beasts of the earth. And Zedekiah, the king of Judah, and his princes will I give into the hand of their enemies. and into the hand of them that seek their life, and into the hand of the king of Babylon's army, which have gone up from before thee. He said, behold, I will command, saith the Most High, and cause them to return to this city, and they shall fight against it, and take it and burn it with fire, and I will make the cities of Yehudah a desolation without inhabitants. Comments?
Yeah, can I interject real quick? I just want to make sure I understand something. So, verse 19, where he said the princes of Judah and the princes of Jerusalem, the eunuchs and their priests, is that him prophesying and saying what will happen? Or do we have eunuchs in Jerusalem?
We had eunuchs in Jerusalem.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We did, because they had already passed through the fire. Let me go back again. They already had passed through the fire.
Nebuchadnezzar already been there one time, too.
Yeah, he had already been there one time. They picked up a couple of the people from the royal house and took them into captivity. That's how Daniel and all of them got there. They got there at a certain time.
Right.
Let me see. Here we go.
I got you. Make sense now.
Make sense? Anybody else have a question? Because, I mean, a lot of people don't understand that God deals with blood covenant, and when he makes a covenant, he means it. So there was a covenant made that promised that at 400 years, once we completed our sentence, that there were certain things that was going to happen.
Right.
And blood was shed. Animals was killed. Wherever there's a covenant, there has to be blood shed at some point.
That's right. Because they say without the blood shed, there'll be no remission of sin.
There's no remission of sin. The blood has to be shed.
Yes.
And that's how we know that no matter what happens, when this sentence is served before him, a change is going to take place. Because he does not go back on his word.
Yes.
This isn't just something that he made up willy-nilly and was like, oh, okay, I'll go get him. No, it was an oath and a covenant given. And Abraham performed the necessary rituals for the covenant to be confirmed. And he spoke all of those things into existence. The transatlantic slave trade he spoke into existence. The judgment of the nation that he spoke into existence. Long life with Abraham he spoke into existence. The giants coming back, he spoke that into existence. The land we was going to inherit and the markers of the land. That's why it's important to understand God does not play when it comes to these type of things. If he says it, he says obedience, that's what he means.
And he's the, like I said, and y'all, he's the only one that can make the covenant, like, you know, with Abraham and others. He's the only one that can make the covenant because he does not change. A man can go back. He can change, but the covenant, he has to make the covenant with man because he will not change his agreement.
Oh, yes. That's right. That's why he said in 8:10, and I will give the men that have transgressed my covenant, which have not performed the words of the covenant, which they had made before me when they cut the calf in half and passed between the parts thereof. Well, he said the princes of Yehudah and the princes of Jerusalem and the eunuchs and the priests. And all the people of the land which passed between the parts of the calf. So they cut that animal. Can you imagine cutting a calf? Man, look. Can you imagine cutting that in half and you walking in the blood?
Wow.
And he's making you agree with the covenant. And then they went back on it.
Yeah, that puts it into perspective too. How we've been taught. Those of us that were in Christianity, how everything's so spiritual, right? We going right back into this physical stuff. We going back into.
That's right. Absolutely. You're gonna keep that covenant. You're gonna keep that law. You're gonna keep it. The next covenant. Here we go. The call. Here we go, Genesis chapter 17. Now we may get into Brother Leonard's comment. The call. He said, and when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Most High appeared unto Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty Yah. Walk before me and be thou perfect. And I will make my covenant. Here we go. Here go another covenant between me and thee, and will multiply thee exceedingly. And Abram fell on his face, and Yah talked with him, saying, as for me, behold, my covenant is between me and thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. So the Most High said, this ain't the 400-year covenant. That's over there. It don't have nothing to do with the covenant of the 7-year covenant where you was gonna let the handmaids and stuff that was held in slavery. That's over there. You messed that one up. This is a covenant between me and you. So as you go through these scriptures, you see he's a God that deals with covenants. He said, this one is between me and you. And what did he tell him? He said, you're going to be the father of many nations. Neither shall thy name anymore be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham. He changed his name. Watch, for a father of many nations have I made thee. Guess what? Abraham didn't even have any children at that time. Nope. Not one. Any questions? Nope. So guess what this tells me to tell you? If Yah tell you he going to do something, and he spoke something to you in the time of your life when it didn't seem like it was going to happen, guess what? He's a Elohim of his word.
He cannot lie.
All these covenants are still in existence, too.
Yeah, you better say that again. You better say that again. He is an Elohim of his word. And don't let nobody talk you out of it, because if he said he's going to do it, he's going to do it regardless to what it looked like. Abram didn't have any children. How was he going to be the father of many nations with no child of his own?
Well, it brings a new understanding to me that Yah can't lie, because everything he speaks from his mouth it has to come to pass.
Has to come to pass. So what that tell you about us leaving, sis?
It's going to happen, and no man will be able to stop it.
No man's going to stop it. Nobody. Because he's bound by oath of the covenant that he made.
Yes.
This wasn't just a comment that he said, well, maybe I'll just go get him up. I think I'm trying to lay a principle down so that everyone understands that Yah deals with covenant.
Yeah, I want to add to that about the part about with Daniel 12 and 40. When you look at that, he said that the same day after the 430 years that they went into Egypt is the same day they came out. So that shines another light on HR 1242, because the date they put on there is the exact same date. 400 years later, we're gonna leave.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right.
So that put each under the fire right there, because I mean, when they said that, when they gave us that date, I mean, it's 400 years later, 2019, whatever date that is. They said the self-same day that they went into Egypt, 430 years later, the same day they came out of Egypt.
Don't start. I don't know.
No. That's what they say in Genesis 12 and 40. Exodus 12 and 40.
I hope so. I mean, it would be all right with me. I mean, I hope it's that quick. I really do. I really, really do. I do. Y'all know I do. You know, but the thing is that we have to understand that he does not lie. He keeps his word. So if he said, I'm going to punish you, you're going to be punished. If he said, I'm going to bless you, you're going to be blessed. If he said, I'm going to deliver you, you will be delivered.
Hallelujah.
Irregardless of what it looked like. We can't deal with what it looked like. Because it didn't look like 3 years ago that they would ever come up and admit that we've been here for 400 years. But they did.
That's true. Amen.
And for our benefit.
Yes. The word says that the man that he cannot lie.
He won't lie. He can't. He's held. Guess what? He's held by the law of the covenant. He can't. He can't do it. Watch, here we go. Nations and kings. He said, and I will make thee exceedingly fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. Watch what he says. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee and thy seed after thee in their generation. This is a different covenant. Watch, he said, for an everlasting covenant to be an Elohim unto thee and to thy seed after thee. It's Abraham now. Wonder what that covenant is. Let's see. He said, and I will give unto thee and to thy seed after thee the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan for an everlasting possession. So it doesn't matter whether or not the Khazars is in the land right now. It doesn't matter whether the Palestinians is fighting over the land right now. It doesn't matter whether the Muslims is in the land right now. The land belongs to us.
Amen. Our word.
An everlasting possession.
Yes.
The deed to the land has never been officially changed by Yah. Watch what he says. And I will be their Elohim. Watch. He said, keep this covenant. Watch what he said. He said, and Yah said unto Abraham, thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore thou and thy seed after thee in their generation. This is my covenant. He can tell you what the times are now. He already laid the foundation. He said this is going to be an everlasting covenant. I'm going to make you the father of many nations. He said I'm going to give you the land where you're going to be, and I'm going to be their God. He said this is going to be an everlasting possession and an everlasting covenant. But then he reiterates something. He said, this is my covenant which ye shall keep between me and thee, and you and thy seed after thee. This is it. You're going to get into the terms. Watch. Every man-child among you shall be circumcised.
Circumcised.
And they say, Yaina, you a girl. You're not supposed to be teaching this stuff. But guess what? The mamas is who the doctors ask. When the man-child is born, they come to the mamas and say, do you want your son circumcised?
Yeah.
Every man-child among you shall be circumcised.
And Sister Yaina, and the world today, they got that all messed up because soon as the male child is born, they want to circumcise them. But I think it's on the 8th day, according to all y'all's word, that the child should be circumcised, right?
Yes, I'm getting to that. Yes, ma'am. That is so very true. But guess what? I would rather have it done on the 1st day and not the 8th than not have it done at all.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also the cutting, right?
Yeah.
There you go. That's the cutting. Yes, ma'am. That's the cutting and the blood.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, didn't I read somewhere that Moses' wife circumcised their son?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, she did. Because guess what? He was coming to kill Moshe. After he gave him orders to go to Egypt to free the children of Israel, because Moshe did not circumcise his son. The Most High was coming to kill him. And the wife took a rock.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Yeah, there wasn't any old wife. Sephora came from Jethro. He was a priest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She understood that.
She sure did. He sure did. And guess what? There's a lot of men today that are not circumcised, that are becoming conscious. Brother Leonard, Brother Donia, what would you tell them once they become conscious? What is it that they have to do?
Circumcised.
You gotta get circumcised.
No matter what, watch what he says. He says, and ye shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a token of the covenant between me and you. That's the token. On the field. That's what he said. And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you, every man-child in your generation. Watch what he says. He says, he that is born in the house or bought with money of any stranger, which is not of thy seed. Watch what he said. He that is born in thy house and he that is bought with thy money must needs be circumcised. Woo! No matter how old you are. Because how old was Abraham when he told him this? We just read it in verse 199. He was 90 and 9. And let me reiterate, don't do it yourself. I know some people that have had it done recently and they went to the doctor. Don't do it yourself. The doctors will set up an appointment and do it for you. Watch. He said, and my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. Watch what he says. He says, and the uncircumcised child, whose flesh of his foreskin is not circumcised, that soul shall be cut off from his people. He has broken my covenant.
So that's saying a lot because, like I was saying before, in his last days, he said he's collecting his jewels. It's tied to that.
Yep. Got to have it done. It's something has to be done. You know, and I know I've heard a lot of some of the Hebrew Israelite guys say it ain't necessary. Paul said the circumcision is in the heart. It ain't in the flesh. I bet you Paul was circumcised. How much you want to bet? The very one who told the Most High he wasn't going to be, oh, no, not me. I won't be able to do, oh, no, not me. I bet you he was. So I'm just saying, this is a covenant for you all who have grandsons and sons and they little bitty guys and they still little bitty guys. I would advise you to have it done. There's going to be a whole lot of changes in our nation and a whole lot of people that's not going to make it because of this stuff right here.
Can I add something?
Y'all done got quiet.
Well, you know, they're not going to make it because of stuff right here, but to me, more than anything, it's about obedience. It's about acknowledging that Yah is who he is and that we are to refer to him. Yeah. So it's more than just in the doing. It's in that acknowledgement that I am willing to obey you regardless, no matter what it cost me.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of the heart.
It's spiritual connotation to this. It's spiritual connotation to get circumcised and the spiritual connotation to keeping the Shabbat. Most High said that he comes on the Shabbat. He brings knowledge on the Shabbat.
Yes, he does.
So if you ain't keeping it, then, you're not getting no knowledge from the Most High.
That's right.
Same way with the circumcision.
Yeah. It's not up for negotiation or debate. It really isn't. And like I said, yeah, we women talking about it along with the men. Yes, we are, because guess what? Most of the mothers are the ones that have to make the decision. So for the mothers that are out there that are single mothers and have sons, or you're giving birth to sons, they have to be circumcised. Don't do it yourself. Make an appointment with the doctor. Make an appointment and have it done. They will do it for you, no matter how old you are. You can be 100 years old. They will still do it for you. They have anesthetics and all kind of stuff to help you to heal and do all that stuff for the older people. But it is a covenant that you have to keep. You know, these are the things that we have to tell our daughters. These are the things that we have to tell our sons. You know, but mostly for the mothers, because there's a lot of single mothers out there with sons. Some of them have never done it before. They didn't know nothing about it. Nobody told them why. Some people told them it was a good idea for sanitary purposes. It's good to have it done. But this is, now that we know we're Israelites, this is a covenant that our sons have to have, or they're going to be cut off. And one of the Hebrew brothers got mad at me, one of the older guys. I said, well, what have you guys been doing for the last 50 years? Is there any doctors out there that are Israelite doctors that will do this for us on the 8th day, or what is it? Now, nobody had anybody. I'm like, well, what have you been doing? Where are they? But guess what? Unfortunately, we have to go to the other nation, and they will do it. They will do it.
Mr. Yahida,
yes, sir.
In the congregation that I came from, fortunately, we had a few people that was doing circumcisions and birthing babies.
Right. I know that you were saying that about the midwives and stuff, but guess what now? Because I went to checking it out myself, and I went to the hospital, our main hospital here, and I was asking one of the physician assistants, I said, is there midwives that can do circumcision? She said, and this is what she told me. She said, we used to could do that. She said, but they took it from us. She said, and it was just a moneymaker. She said that the doctors are the only ones who can do it now. So I'm sure that there are people in your congregation that may still have that skill, but medically now they fixed it where you can't even do that outside of a hospital, not legally. You know, so that's why I said, everybody, go to the doctor. Go to the doctor. Ladies, young women, having babies, go to the doctors and let them do it. If your baby is not born yet, he has to be circumcised. Let them circumcise him in the hospital. You know, now I know some people that have waited until the 8th day and brought them back and have them circumcised on the 8th day, and your doctor may do that. He may be willing to do that. You can definitely ask. But I know my boys were circumcised while I was in the hospital, and it wasn't the 8th day.
Right.
It was.
This put it into perspective, too, when you look at Ezekiel 20:35 to 37, right? Being brought back under the bond of the covenant. Mm-hmm. Now it makes perfect sense. All the stuff that he did, he said he's going to do it again, just like he did our forefathers.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. Because, and then that's what the new law, all of a sudden this new covenant, and I'm a New Testament believer, don't get me wrong, but this new covenant now trying to say it ain't necessary. It's always going to be necessary for Israel. And not just Israel, but the stranger too. Because this say the stranger. On it. Where is it at? He said, he that is born in thy house, and he that is bought with thy money. That means if we have any servants or whatever, they have to be circumcised. If we back it up a little bit more and go to the next one, he says, he that is born in thy house or bought with money of any stranger which is not of thy seed. They have to be circumcised.
Yeah, look at Ezekiel 1 through 6. Ezekiel 16, 1 through 6. A lot of people don't understand that, but that's what he's talking about right there.
What, the circumcision? I'll get to it. I'll go to that in a second. Let me finish this. But yes, He said, and the soul shall be cut off from his people. He has broken my covenant. All right, here we go. The call. The Yah calls whomsoever he will, chosen to enter into the covenant with him. Any questions about that before we move on? I mean, because I know it's a lot of women on this class and men, and we appreciate everybody, being able to discuss this, from a spiritual foundation. And it's a lot of women. Like I said, we have daughters that's still in their baby rearing years and still having children. And these are the things that we have to be able to teach them so that they understand. Anybody have any questions at all? Any comments?
Name. That's another thing, the name. A lot of people don't know the name is important. That too. I just had that conversation with my granddaughter because she's expecting a baby. And I said, are you going to give her a Hebrew name? She said, I'm looking for one, Grandma. I said, good. I'll help you.
I have a comment, Sister Yaina.
Yes, ma'am.
My mother, she had read in an article a few years back regarding waiting till the 8th day to do circumcision was due to the fact that the vitamin K level in a child in a boy baby that's when that level is at the highest. In which, if I'm not mistaken, I believe vitamin K helps prohibit blood clotting.
Oh, yes. Okay.
And so that could be one possibility why the father said the 8th day. And because I'll never forget, I was 20 years old, and I had very limited knowledge of the Most High, but I remember reading that in the scriptures. And that 34 years ago, I was 20 years old, and I'll never forget. It was snow on the ground that particular day. And it was 8 days, and I got in my car, and it was snow and ice on the ground. But I said, Father, I'm taking this baby. I'm taking this son of my baby to get him circumcised because today's the 8th day. And I took him, and I had him circumcised. And like I said, I just wanted to just share that.
Wow. And they did it on the 8th day, huh?
On the 8th day.
Wow. That's a blessing. Because, like I said, most of us don't have that testimony. They just did. I didn't even know anything about it either, in terms of the 8th day, but I know they circumcised him. I think maybe the 2nd or 3rd day that because back then we stayed in the hospital for a week,
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Sister Yaina, I can attest to that story. This is Yashar, and it happened to me almost the same way. I had to take my second son in. They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't circumcise him after he was born. We literally left the hospital. The doctor told me I can't circumcise him today. Now, my first son was circumcised, of course, the second day or second or third day before he left. But the second child, the doctor would not circumcise him until the 8th day. And I didn't understand that. But
wow.
Yes, I did, and had no idea that it was a covenant thing. Had no idea. But
so wait a minute. So you saying the doctor was the one upholding the covenant?
I guess so. And he was a right doctor. He really.
Wow.
He became the doctor of all three of my children. But that second child, and that's the one that's here with me today that helped me to get into knowing about the Sabbath and all of this, it has been I'm telling you, it just gives me chills to think about what she did. And then to turn around and know that I have a son that he chose, because that, after he was circumcised, that's when I gave him, how you go out in the backyard and you lift them up to the Most. Did that with all three of my kids, but the second child was the one that got lifted up in the backyard after his circumcision. So I just had to get in on that.
I think that's, and you know what, it's good to hear the women say this, because a lot of men get offended when we talk about this, but they have to understand we're the ones that make the decision, yay or nay.
Exactly.
It's not supposed to be that way, but unfortunately, in this captivity, that's the way it is. But the fact that you had a Caucasian doctor that wouldn't do it when he was in the hospital and made you come back on the 8th day, that was y'all. That wasn't nobody.
That was no one. Hallelujah. Like
that's right.
Brother Adoni says, hallelujah, because it's true. It is true. That is a truth.
Wow. Well, I mean, you know, those are the things, you know, and sometimes you might be able to find one that'll do that, you know, and honor the 8th day and let you come back on the 8th day and do the circumcision. Those are the things that we have to start doing. Right. You know what I'm saying? Not just find one to do it. Let the doctors know, you know, I want to bring him back on the 8th day so he can be circumcised according to the covenant. Would you be willing to do that for me?
Right.
Because they pretty much will. I don't see why they wouldn't. They're going to get paid the same amount.
The same amount. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? So if we can get the doctors to start doing those things, that really would truly be a blessing. I mean, really.
Yes, but I had to share that with her, and I know just how she felt. And now, thinking back on it, and not really, like I said, I didn't know. I had no idea about the covenant. You know, I was like that, reading the word and all of that, but, you know, things go over your head.
Right.
That's something that really went over my head, and so many things. I could sit here and tell you a whole hour about what has happened and transpired in his life and him bringing me into this, you know, knowledge. And, I mean, it's amazing.
Wow. Anybody else have any comments or anything you want to share? I mean, you know, those are the things, like I said, as we begin to build the nation into a nation. And it doesn't mean that we're going against the nation that we're living in. No. We're developing back the culture and coming up under, like he said, the bond of the covenant. We're coming back into right standing with the Most High because a lot of us just didn't know. And when you know better, you do better. No? It's amazing. Okay, here we go. The introduction. In order to establish the relationship, there must be an introduction. So in order for the Most High to establish a relationship with you so that he can bring you under the covenant, he has to introduce himself. That's only fair. He's a gentleman. He said, by the way, I want to introduce myself. My name is, I'm the Most High Elohim of the universe, and I just wanted to let you know that I've introduced myself to your forefathers. When he told Jacob, he said, I'm the God of Abraham, and I'm the God of Isaac, and I'd like to be your God. You know, all I want you to do is agree to keep my covenants and keep my law, statutes, and my commandments. The explanation, this is what we're saying. Y'all will make sure both parties are clear on the agreement and will agree to the terms. Because guess what you won't do? You'll never get in front of the Most High and say, well, I didn't know. Because he's going to rewind the tape and pull you all the way back to when he brought that person in your life and said, I sent him to tell you what to do. Because you're going to make a choice. It says, y'all shall initiate. Y'all will initiate the terms and the conditions to maintain his covenant. Like he just told Abraham. He said, make sure now that they circumcised on the 8th day. And whether you bought them to be servants or whether they was born from your loins, every man child has to be circumcised in order for you to keep in right standing with that covenant. Choice, man. Our choice was made. And this is what blew me away. I want to share something with you because whether you believe it or not, our choice was made for us. Somebody made the covenant choice for us too. The ones that are sitting in this captivity. Watch, Deuteronomy chapter 29. We're going to go 9 through 15 and then 19 through 29. Watch what the Most High says. He said, keep therefore the words of this covenant and do them that ye may prosper in all that you do. This is a whole nother covenant. Watch. Ye stand this day, all of you, before the Most High your Elohim, your captains of your tribes, your elders, and your officers, with all the men of Yisrael. Watch what he said. He said, your little one, your wife, and thy stranger that is in thy camp, from the hewer of thy wood unto the drawer of thy water. He said, I want to make sure everybody in here. Don't make sure nobody listens. Now, did you understand something? Watch. He said that thou shouldst enter into covenant with the Most High thy Elohim, and into his oath which the Most High thy Elohim maketh with thee this day, that he may establish thee today for a people unto himself, that he may be unto thee an Elohim. He said, I want you to be my people. It's like a relationship. You know how a guy comes and says, I want you to be my girl, I want to be your boyfriend. Is that all right with you? Yeah, I said, I'm going to be your Elohim and you're going to be my people, but we have to get some things understood before we do this, before we enter into this. Because this is going to be more detrimental for you than it's going to be for me. It's best that you understand all the terms of the and conditions of the agreement so that you don't enter into it ignorant and act like you didn't know. Because this thing is going to be so crucial, it's going to reach past generations upon generations upon generations with the words that you speak out of your own mouth. I learned that. I was in a meeting the other day with my boss, and she was telling us a secret about something that happened to her parents. She said, I want everybody in the room to swear. You're not going to say no when you leave that's in the keep it in. I want everybody to swear. And I stopped for a minute. I said, I ain't going to be able to do that. I'm so sorry, but I won't be able to do that one. When you get me, I ain't swearing about nobody. Why? He said, and he has said unto thee, as he has sworn unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. Why? He said, neither with you only do I make this covenant and this oath. Watch what he said. But with him that standeth here with us this day, before the Most High our Elohim, and also with him that is not here with us this day. So what does that mean? They made the oath for you too. That's exactly why we're sitting in this download captivity right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Coming. Yep.
They made it for us. They made the agreement for us. And then guess what? It was only after we realized who we was that we went back to see what the terms of the agreement was, and we were like, well, wait a minute. Who told you to speak for me? Speak for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Let me have the touch. That's why the Most High is getting ready to deliver us back. Because like the brother said, he's going to bring us back so that we can enter back into what? The bond of the covenant. Mm-hmm. Watch what he says. He says that it come to pass when he heareth the word of this curse, that he bless himself in his heart, saying, I shall have peace, though I walk in the imagination of my heart, to add drunkenness to thirst. That's what he said. The Most High will not spare him, but then the anger of the Most High and his jealousy shall smoke against that man. And all the curses that are written in this book shall lie upon him, and the Most High shall blot out his name from under heaven. And the Most High shall separate him unto evil out of all the tribes of Israel. according to all the curses of the covenant that are written in this book of the law, so that the generations to come of your children that shall rise up after you, and the strangers that shall come from a foreign land, shall say when they see the plagues of that land and the sicknesses which the Most High has laid upon it, and that the whole land thereof is brimstone and salt and burning, that it is not sown nor bearing, nor any grass groweth therein, like the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, Adam and Zeboim, which the Most High overthrew in his anger and his wrath. Watch he say, even all the nations shall say, wherefore hath the Most High done thus unto this land? What meaneth the heat of this great anger? Then men shall say, because they have forsaken the covenant of the Most High Elohim of their fathers, which he made with them when he brought them forth out of the land of Egypt. For they went and served other gods and worshipped them, gods whom they knew not, who he had not given unto them. And the anger of the Most High was kindled against this land to bring upon it all the curses that are written in this book. Wow. And the Most High rooted them out of their land in anger and in wrath and in great indignation, and cast them into another land, as it is this day. Watch what it says. He said, the secret things belong unto the Most High, our Elohim, but those things which are revealed belong unto us and to our children forever, that we may do all the words of this law. Any questions?
I don't have any questions, but I want to say something about the young lady that spoke on the Vitamin K.
Mm-hmm.
I just sent you an article. It's very important. The reason why they were saying that y'all, he specified that they ate. And as she was saying about the vitamin K, it explains all that in that article. And I just sent that to you to take that. It sounds very insignificant.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else have a comment? Anything at all?
Well, I got a question. Let me see. In chapter 23, it said Solomon, Gomorrah, and Admah and Zeboim. I've never heard the last two. Admah and Zeboim.
Admah and Zeboim. Those are some lands that he struck down. I'm assuming because of his anger and the things that they've done. I can research it for you and let you know. But he said, like the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, he overthrew them for some reason.
There was 5 cities in the plains. It was 5 cities on Nimrod Ag.
Okay.
All right.
So, I mean,
we're going to have to...
Go ahead, Sister Maria.
I was just going to say, so we're going to reread the prayer of Exodus 24 once again in Mount Sinai there. Is that correct?
Yeah. We're going to do it again. We're going to go back and do it again. We have to do it again. Because even though they made the agreement for us, we didn't realize it until after we messed up. Because he sent us into these lands and told us, you're going to be made to serve other gods of wood and of stone. We didn't know that until we woke up. I was like, wait a minute, hold on. I know something ain't right about this. And guess what? The more conscious I become, the more I realize that the Christianity that they gave us is not what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
He said that you're going to wake up in the land of your captivity and rethink everything.
Yes. Crucial.
Yeah.
And that's when you realize that those things that were once done will be done over again, because this time he's going to put it in our heart. The law is going to be in our heart. We don't have to read it no more. We're going to know what not to do.
Mm-hmm. That's what Jeremiah 33:33 says.
We're going back to the land. It's going to be in our heart. We're going to know what not to do, what we can and cannot do. And the stranger that comes along with us will have to follow the same law.
See, this also shows that how Yah only deals with us, right? Because he gave the other nations something else. I was watching a documentary, and it was talking about how Constantine saw a vision, and all the people that was with him saw God coming out of heaven, and God told him that he was going to go and conquer the world, and he was that he needs to do Christianity. So I believe that that's what he saw, because it just shows you that he's giving everybody else that he doesn't deal with something else.
Yeah. Just like he did Nebuchadnezzar. He called Nebuchadnezzar his servant. He called him his servant. So, I mean, you know, like I said, the whole world is playing along with the agenda of Yah. Nobody is separate, even though they think they are, even though they portray themselves as though they are. You know what I'm saying? All of them, and that's what woke me up. I'm glad you brought that up, because that's what woke me up. Because I thought about it one day. I said, the Romans are the ones who killed the Messiah. And now they have access to the gospel, to Christianity, and they're teaching us what it is. I said, when did we start trusting the Romans?
Right.
And nobody could answer my question. I went through my whole family. I said, when do we start trusting the Romans to tell us how to do this?
Exactly.
And that's when I went home, and I shut the door, and I went before the Most High and said, please show me, because something is wrong. Show me, because I don't understand how we came to this conclusion. How do these people have the authority to tell us how we worship and what we do? Because it's not working.
It's not working for us. It's working for them.
Exactly. You know, and guess what? It's working for them because they get to teach. Well, we ain't gonna get into that, but they get to do what they want to do. You know, and it keeps us unsubjugated in this captivity. You know, to a certain point. But it's like, no, something is wrong with this picture. You know, and understanding that, that sent me on a quest that I went on. I was like, wait a minute, hold on, let me see what's going on here. You know, and the more I learn, and believe me, the more I'm still learning, because the more I learn, the more I don't know. And the more I understand that this is deeper than anything we can imagine. We have a covenant with the Most High, and the covenant says that He's going to deliver us from this land. And that's His covenant to us, to this generation. He said, I will come and get you. He said, I promise I'm coming to get you. So there's no question about whether or not we're going to leave. It's just when we leaving.
Yeah. I was looking at the HR 1242, and then I went back, and in 1640 they passed a bill saying that if the Israelites when they first came here in 1640, that if they embrace Christianity, they would let them they can be free. And then, so after they got them all hoodwinked, 1667, they passed another bill saying that this continued.
Right. Ain't that just like them?
So let new under sun.
They passed a law to get you in there, and then this another law to get you free.
Right. 17 years later.
Yeah, for real. I can believe that. I can believe that all the day long. But guess what? There's nothing else now that we can do. There's nothing else that we can bring to the table. There's nothing else that we can give other than to support a version of divinity that's not true. You know, like we read the one article, I think it was written, The Root wrote the article about the 400 years, and he was saying that they were saying that ever since we've been here, we have been entertaining and singing to them and keeping them basically soothed with our performance and the things that we have been doing to them to make their life easier, you know. And the Most High said, that's time up. I want my people back.
Right.
And there's nothing else that we can do here. Even though they have all these FBI probes and reports about black identity extremists and all of that stuff has to be, because guess what? It has to play itself out. But as far as the things that we know to do, do what it is that you know to do. That way you don't break the covenant, because you don't want to, like he said, it's a terrible thing to fall into his hands. And he's going to pay you back. No?
Yeah.
Just do what you're told. Those are the things that and we're learning as we go to understand the importance of the covenant and how the covenant cannot be broken. And he said if you break it and you willingly break it, you cut off. There's gonna be a lot of men getting circumcised. It's gonna be watched. They're gonna advertise it on the news. Watch. There's a large amount of men, black men, that are getting circumcised. We don't know what's going on. We do. Mm-hmm.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Going back to Deuteronomy 29 and 23, I was wondering if anyone could tell me who is speaking in Amos 4:11, where it says, I have overthrown some of you as Elohim overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, and ye were as a firebrand plucked out of the burning, yet have ye not returned unto me, saith the Most High.
Hold on, let me pull it up, because I like to read the whole chapter, because that's only when you understand. I try not to go into different scriptures without reading the whole chapter. So let me see. Let us see where it is, and then we're going to find it. All right, let's go to, can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I thought it was the Most High speaking. Amos 4, chapter 4.
Chapter 4. Let's see what he says. Let's see. Hear the word. Hear this word. Be kind of Bashan that are in the mountains. You can't see it?
It's your main screen.
Hold on. Let me see how we can add this. Hold on. Oh, my goodness. Hold on just a second. I don't know how to work this stuff at the time.
You're doing great.
I appreciate that. I do. I appreciate that. Hold on. Oh, man. Hold on just a minute. Let me see where we are. What is this? Okay. Here we go. I got it. All right. Can you see it now? Hold on. Open up the screen. Can you see it now?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, here we go. It says, hear the word, ye kind of Bashan, that are in the mountain of Samaria, which oppress the poor, which crush the needy, and say to their masters, bring and let us drink. The Most High Elohim has sworn by his holiness that, lo, the days shall come upon you, that he will take you away with hooks, and your prosperity with fish hooks. And ye shall go out at the breaches, every cow at that which is before her. And ye shall cast them into the palace, saith the Most High. Come to Bethel and transgress. At Gilgal multiply transgressions, and bring your sacrifices every morning and your tithes after 3 years. And offer a sacrifice of thanksgiving with leaven, and proclaim and publish the free offering, for this likens you, O ye children of Israel, saith the Most High Elohim. And I also have given you cleanness of teeth in all your cities, and want of bread in all your places, yet have ye not returned unto me, saith the Most High. And also I have withholden the rain from you, when there were yet 3 months to the harvest. And I caused it to rain upon one city, and caused it not to rain upon another city. One piece was rained upon, and the piece whereupon it rained not withered. So 2 or 3 cities wandered unto one city to drink water, but they were not satisfied. Yet have ye not returned unto me, saith the Most High. I have smitten you with blasting and mildew, when your gardens and your vineyards and your fig trees and your olive trees increase. The palmer worm devoured them, yet have ye not returned unto me. Unto me, saith the Most High. I have sent among you pestilence after the manner of Egypt. Your young men have I slain with the sword, and have taken away your horses, and I have made the stink of your camps to come up into your nostrils. Yet have ye not returned unto me, saith the Most High. I have overthrew some of you, as Yah overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, and ye were as a firebrand plucked out of the burning, yet have ye not returned unto me, saith the Most High. That's what you're talking about right there?
Yes.
Now, you're going to take me into a whole other, let me do this. I have overthrew some of you as Yah overthrew, we already did that one. Therefore, thus will I do unto thee, O Israel, because I will do this unto thee. Prepare to meet thy Elohim, O Yisrael. For lo, he that formed the mountains and created the wind and declared unto man, that is his thought, that maketh the morning darkness and treadeth upon the high places of the earth. The Most High, the Elohim of hosts, is his name. That's going to take me into a whole other area.
Okay.
But I will explain that to you, I promise. I won't touch that tonight because that's going to take us into a whole other area, but I promise I will explain that to you. I am doing a study right now on that particular subject because we have to understand something, and I'll give you a hint. We have to understand where Michael comes in.
Okay. Oh, okay. That makes sense.
We have to deal with Michael because Michael is the captain of the host.
Yes.
And a lot of the things that are done is done by him.
Okay.
And I'm doing a study on that right now. I don't know a lot. I don't have enough to put it together yet, but I'm doing a study on him, and that hint will help them, Brother Leonard and some of the other brothers and sisters on here to come together with the same thing, because a lot of times, when they talk about the Lord, or we talk about, something happening to Israel, the angels are sent in to do a lot of the things that's done to Israel.
Yeah.
Whereas we made to believe that Yah comes himself and he does the damage. No, he's very organized and he has a kingdom.
That's
and
right.
They are sent out on assignments to do certain things.
Right.
And sometimes they call them Lord.
Yes. Okay, I understand that completely. Thank you.
Because even with Moshe, this is where I kind of got it from, because when Moshe went to Pharaoh, the Most High said, I'm going to turn you into a god.
Yeah.
That whatever you say, I'm going to back you up.
And that's why we also can't keep listening to people that saying God did it or God's in it. Ain't no signs, ain't no wonders, ain't nothing happening. People talking about God is doing it.
Right, exactly. And it makes you think of some of the people that I was just thinking about that today. Some of the prophets that used to come to me and say certain things, and the stuff just didn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? When I was in Christianity, if you prophesy about houses and cars and lands and jobs, people go to crying and huck them and shouting, but this is way bigger than that. God's going to automatically bless you and open up doors when you start keeping his law, statutes, and his commandments. You're going to get those things. But when you're in Christianity, that is the basis of most of the things that they prophesy to you about. And when you play back the tape, it's like, wait a minute, hold on. Let me know about the God that I serve. And what happened was Friday, I was in the restroom and I was washing my hands, and one of the girls, I said, I'm ready to go home. I am so glad today is Friday. I am so ready to go home. She said, well, you'll be able to get you some rest. I said, yeah. I said, because Friday is my Sabbath. She said, oh, she was one of us. She says, oh, so are you 7-day Adventist? I said, no, ma'am, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. And she looked at me. I can't even express to you the way she looked at me. It was a puzzling look, like she had no clue.
That's why when people come to you like that, man, you got to refer them to the scripture. Let them find out on their own, because you can say what you want to say. They're going to look at you crazy. But
She did.
Let them understand it from the book.
I'm sure I'll see her again, but you know what? She looked at me like, huh? You know, like, hey, you know what I found, and I may be wrong. Somebody correct me if I am. But what I found is that a lot of the people that are in Christianity know nothing about the God of the Bible.
I'm telling you.
That's true.
Because they don't read. If they read that book from the beginning, it's all right to go into the New Testament, but you got to understand what it's all about.
They really don't understand. A lot of them don't understand what the Old Testament is about.
See, that's what got me. I can't speak for nobody else, but that's what got me because, you know, as a Christian, quote unquote, I'm reading the Bible and I'm like, something doesn't make sense, man. I'm sitting here, we praising, we singing, we laying here, we doing all this stuff, and I'm like, I'm reading this thing. I'm reading the Old Testament. I'm reading the New Testament, and where is this God? Where is he? Where's all this physical stuff?
Same here. I was like, where is the signs that's supposed to follow them? These signs. What's going on, you know? And then reading Jeremiah talking about not having the Christmas tree all draped and this and that, you know, I went to my pastor and I started asking him about those things. In fact, I was at a pastor's conference and there was a bunch of pastors. And I started asking them because I was supposed to preach a couple weekends after that, and I was doing research and all kind of things was coming up. So I started asking them, and they knew more about the paganism stuff than I did. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, so if you guys know this, and then when you read Ezekiel, and it talks about how angry God is about this thing, and what got me about Ezekiel, in Ezekiel, the gods that they were praying, which is Nimrod, is the exact same ones that they're praying to and worshiping on Easter in Tammuz. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And they knew that. And I'm like, so if you guys know these things, why haven't that changed? And my pastor goes, what do you want me to do? Change it myself? I was like, dude, I'm done. That was it for me.
Because it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense.
That was it for me.
Wow.
You can't just one or two verses make things make sense to you. You have to start from the beginning and read it all the way through. You understand? Sometimes you're going to need some instructions and somebody to make it plain for you, but for the most part, you understand, it's plain and simple. There's nothing hard in there.
And you know what it tells me from what you just said about your pastor, that they are in a system that they can't change.
Yes, they're in a system that they can't change, but that system that they can't change, it's not that they can't, they won't, because they'll lose that nonprofit status. It comes down to their pocketbook.
There you go.
They have a line that they cannot cross. If they cross that line, then they lose it.
And guess who set the line up? Rome set the line up.
Rome set the line up. Yes.
That's right. So they have to
What I found in all of this, you know, now that I've come to the truth, I have tried to talk to so many people, a lot of people from that church. And guess what? I look like the crazy man. But what I found out is that people don't want to know. People don't want. They don't want to change. And the only ones that are going to wake up is those who truly love the Most High, those who are truly seeking the truth of God uncut. Hallelujah.
There it is. There it is.
Anything that's tainted by the enemy.
That's right. And putting work into it. Putting work into it.
It's the ones that the Most High.
They don't want to do the work.
Well, I don't know if that's it. I don't know if that's it. I think the Most High has, like Brother Leonard said, he has to wake them up. Those are, we have the elect, and then we have the very elect, and then we just have the people. So the Most High is keeping the people asleep, in my opinion, so that they're not in the way right now until we all get to where we need to be. And then at the appointed time, he's going to wake up the people because they can't see it. No matter how much you try to tell them, they can't. And some of them see it, and like you said, they still don't want no part of it. They're like, nope, I'm going to stay just like this. I don't want to have to go through no extra changes. And those are the ones that don't want to change. It's some that they see it and they don't want to change.
So I don't disagree with that at all. In fact, I agree, but I'm asking you this. So do you believe that there's people who could actually see it, but they're still blind to it because God hasn't opened their eyes?
Yes, I do.
Okay, well, praise God. We'll just
because there's levels of understanding that we all had. You didn't start where I started. I didn't start where you started. Sister Tabara didn't start where I started or where you started. Everybody started at a different level. But guess what? It's like my uncle said, it's an onion. He said it just keep on peeling back the layers. He said every time you peel back layers, you're going to peel back another layer. And you're going to keep on peeling that layer back and you're going to learn something. So we're progressively coming to the fullness of the knowledge, but none of us are all the way there.
Hallelujah.
There was a there was on and he received a letter from the Iranian. The Arab, you understand?
Yes.
And he was a pastor, the Old Testament. He taught about the wilderness and everything, but he has not changed. You understand? He still has his services on Sunday and certain things that they continuously do, but he teaches the people about the Old Testament. You understand? Wilderness and blah, 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 and all that stuff. And I've listened to him. You understand? And I said, wow, this brother right here is coming into the knowledge. But then I see that he has not made any change.
Yeah, he under attack now he under attack by a bunch of Israelite camps now because he made that statement about the fringes, and then he made a statement about if you got a dietary law, you're in a cult.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So they all there. They in his throat right now.
What about that other brother, the one that passed away? That he was real popular.
Him too.
Oh yeah.
It's three of them. They got this Negro land too.
There's a lot of opposition going on in the process of this awakening, and what Israel needs to remember is we have something huge in common, and that is we all are still in captivity.
That's right.
And we don't have the time, or we should not allow the enemy to come in or be able to come in and have us at each other's throat because of what we believe as far as our doctrines and stuff. But we need to come together and cry out to the Most High.
That's what we're going to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're doing, and that's what we're setting up for 2019. We're all coming together in one location, preferably Washington, D.C., and we're going to cry out before the Most High because at that point our sentence will be served. We will have served our 400-year sentence, and that's what we're putting together. So you sound new. I have never heard your voice before, but this is a virtual class. We love to have you. Please help us to do this. We're trying to come together and do this as a nation of people and cry out to the Most High and ask Him to deliver us, from this place that we have, the covenant that He made with Avram, that He was going to deliver us from this place.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is Jeff. I've been on a few times, and I haven't been able to get on the last couple of weeks or so. But the last time you gave your number, I didn't have time to get a pen, and I think I was on mute or something. So
You were the one who was going to do the videos for me, weren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, let me give you my phone number, Brother Jeff. I want you to call me.
Yeah, I have really been trying to get back to you, but I'm coming out of a Job moment, and I'm praising the Most High for my deliverance.
Woo, I feel you. I understand. Let me give you, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my email. Can you email me?
I definitely can.
Okay, the email address is the Yehudah Project at gmail.com. T-H-E, and you know how to spell Yehudah, don't you?
Yeah.
YEHUDAH project at gmail.com. And the phone number is 513-494-6653.
All right.
Yeah, so I understand. So what, if I can ask, what organization were you under?
When I was in church, you mean?
Yes.
Or business?
Yes.
I was brought up Pentecostal and moved over here in the Midwest, and I've been dealing with like Pentecostal and Baptist churches. But I was a minister at the Baptist church, and like I said, doing my own studying and stuff, I was like, I got to get up out of here, the whole organization.
Okay. I understand. I do understand. I was raised in holiness, too. So I understand, non-denominational. I went that way. I went holiness, non-denominational, and then I went home.
And you came home.
I came home. You're right. I came home. That's true. So, it's a learning experience. It's definitely something that we have to learn, and how to deal with each other and how to make it through the transition. And that's what we try to do here, is to help everyone make it transition. You don't have to agree with everything we say, but we tell everybody, agree to disagree agreeably. You know what I'm saying? Let's not fall out with each other.
Absolutely.
If you don't agree, you don't. You know what I'm saying? We just keep it moving.
Absolutely.
It's all going to be revealed. You understand? Everybody got their differences and different opinions and all of that stuff. I say have at it, because it's all going to be revealed. We in captivity, so who knows?
That's right. We are that.
What Israel have to understand is there's strength in number, and we've been warned. We've been told that they try to say that Jesus, Yeshua, they try to say that he was of the devil because he was casting out demons. He was like, Beelzebub can't cast out Beelzebub. And the enemy isn't going to come against himself, basically. And we got to think that same way when it comes to Israel. We need strength. There's strength in numbers. We need to come together. And like I said, we have that big one thing in common is that we're all still in captivity, and we're family. We're a family that's been fighting each other much too long. We have to bring back that brotherly love. Hallelujah. That's right. Love is God. God is love. Yah.
And that's why we need Yah. We need Yah. That's part of the curse.
They saying now that Pastor Darby's wife is teaching, but I'm going to check that out. But let me cut off the recording here. Well, one moment. Let me make the announcement. Don't hang up, everybody. As soon as I say that, everybody hang up the phone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, everyone that's listening under the sound of our voices. We hope you've enjoyed the show. We will be back here tomorrow on Blog Talk Radio at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The phone number is 718-664-9551. Hope that you guys can meet us there. We look forward to it. And we'd like to say shalom, shalom to everyone. Thank you for joining us, everyone.